Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back. We are having some technical difficulties here right now. Not really sure what's going on, but I'm going to try to nail this down. Hopefully Vinnie will come in soon and we will be able to get this underway as it's actually meant to happen. So I see we got a few people in the chat. What's going on? Chris Fisk, what's going on? Shadowhawk Backs, thank you for coming. It's just one of those days. You know when everything seems to go wrong and it just doesn't stop? That seems to be today. Today's one of those days. So I'm going to see if I can figure out what is going on with this sound. Because I seem to have lost all sound on this thing for some reason. Well, hopefully that's a little bit better. I'm going to see if I can run that intro again to see if maybe I pick up the sound because I don't know what happened. There was absolutely no sound. Yeah, I'm still not getting any sound. That's just... Now, see, that's the way an intro is supposed to happen. I don't know what happened the first time. That just drives me nuts. What's going on, Vinnie?
Hey, brother. I had to find where this was. I was looking for where the hell my guinea pig was.
Well, did you see that? I tried to play the new intro, and then something happened, and the sound just, like, was gone.
Oh, yeah? Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe I screwed up and I uploaded the wrong clip without the sound. Because I've got about 15 different projects going on with different intros and different things that I'm working on for videos. So They all wind up jumbling together and they all have similar names. So I'm just looking Collectable Past 1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus, which one is it? Yeah, I'm uploading that one because I think that's it.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. I got so many different files and stuff. My desktop looks like a mess.
I already said hi to Chris. I already said hi to Shadowhawk Backs. What's going on? Channel 66. Red Gaze in the house. What's up, Red? Red just ended his stream. Make sure you guys catch that. Every Thursday, it starts off with Red Gaze at 6:05 Eastern with Rogues Gallery. And then we move right into Rogue Entertainment and Collectable Past. What's going on, Sentinel and Lasso of Truth? Hello there. Make sure you guys share out the links. Let people know what we're doing because the algorithm hates guinea pigs. It's true. It's 100% true. I've seen the hatred in their hearts. They hate our little paws. They hate our little fur. They can't stand everything about us. They're withholding carrots, lettuce. This is inhumane, people.
It's twoo. It's twoo.
So today I actually wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of the other franchises because I know I went like really old school on last week's episode. Right. So I wanted to bring it back to more of a retro thing. And like another one of my favorite franchises, of course, going right back into Transformers. And I wanted to talk about it, a few of the figures that I've done reviews on. And I thought that they were being done right. I know you caught one of them. And that's the one I'm going to start with first. So
Origin Bumblebee from the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line. And normally I wouldn't pick these up, but it has his Cybertronian vehicle mode from the original Sunbow cartoon. So with Bumblebee out of the packaging, you see he is a rather tiny figure. He looks very G1 inspired, like the cartoon and everything, which I appreciate that, but oh my god, is that figure tiny, like sitting next to Galvatron. Still, he looks pretty cool. He comes with a blaster like you've seen him in the Sun Battle. Which I thought that was a nice cool touch, because usually the older figures didn't come like that. He also comes with a jetpack. And of course, he comes with the Energon conductors that you've seen in the Sunbow cartoon, because when him and Wheeljack are coming through the grating, he's talking about the Energon conductors are not going to last very long. It's got the normal articulation that you would expect, up and down, out, turns there. There is no turn at the hand because that's part of his transformation. There is some slight head movement there. It does turn. Of course, there's no kind of waist swivel, or is there? Oh no, there is a small waist swivel. Knee joint, a little bit of a rocker at the feet, and of course the hip and thigh rotation as well. Let's take a look at them in vehicle mode. So it took a little bit to actually get him into vehicle form. The vehicle form does look rather nice. However, there are a lot of components on this one that keep popping off. Some of the plastic on it feels really, really cheap. As far as quality goes, yeah, Hasbro Takara has done a lot better.
And that was one of those ones I really did enjoy that figure. I thought that figure looked great, but yeah, the way they made it, it just did not have the quality standards that I'm used to seeing Hasbro and Takara that they've been doing, especially with the rest of the War for Cybertron line. Like this buzzworthy Bumblebee line, it just seems to be lacking in the quality that the other ones.
I thought that review was really good. But yeah, like I said, it does look nice. It looks really good, but you said it's kind of cheap plastic too. That's disappointing. And the packaging too, like that open window where you could actually touch the figure, is bizarre. That is the weirdest choices I've ever seen on packaging design.
I know. I don't like that at all, because if you get like, and I've talked about this before with the old Star Wars toys, like you could easily pop that packaging up and steal the guns and everything out because everybody lost the guns. Somebody could easily do that with this figure. They can go in there and they could swipe all the attachments out of it.
Oh, in a heartbeat. And there's a lot of scummy people out there, so it's bound to happen. But that's if you could find the figure. I've never seen that thing in stores. The first time I saw it was you were telling me, and you showed me a photo or something of it.
Well, it was kind of weird when I went to the store, and I went there right after they had just got done stocking, because the guy gave me the down low on when they were actually stocking the shelves at Target.
Right.
I rolled in, and they had about 10 of these things sitting on the shelf.
Damn.
So I snagged one, and I was actually thinking about snagging another one, but I was like, I'd never bought one from this particular line before, so I'm just going to get one and see how it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now in hindsight, maybe I should have grabbed another one if they flew off the shelves that quick. But all the other ones for that line, usually I see them just sitting there.
Wow. That's crazy. Oh, I did finally, after all these months, I found Galvatron as well. I opened him up before, but I haven't transformed him yet.
It's a pain. It's a pain. It's like most of the other ones from, I shouldn't say most of them. A lot of them from the War for Cybertron series and the 86 ones. They're difficult to transform, some of them, because I remember like the old G1 toys. I could just pick one of them up and I could figure out how to transform it on my own. I didn't need the direction sheet for that. These newer ones with all the like little components, you got to flip around this way, spin that around this sideways, and then flip another piece out here and another. Like there's all kinds of tiny little things that you need to do so you don't screw nothing up. And I almost made that mistake with the other one I'm going to talk about later. I damn near had an accident and I almost broke a piece on it, and I wound up causing a stress mark on the plastic.
Was it tracks?
No.
Oh.
I didn't even get to him yet. I know I have to get to him, but I also got Optimus Prime that I need to get to. I have the 86 movie Grimlock,
Mhm.
The 86 movie Scourge and Wreck-Gar.
Yeah.
Then I've got a slew of other figures, all from the War from Cybertron line, like RC and Wheeljack, and of course Trax and Starscream, and the list just goes on and on and on because I have so damn many of them at this point. What's going on, Keck? And what's going on, LDG, man? I hope you're feeling a little better. I'm so sorry what happened to you with your father.
Oh, man. Oh, I don't know what happened. I'm sending good vibes regardless.
Chaos Hoy, what's going on, buddy? Thank you for coming. Y'all make sure you share the link out. Let YouTube know that we're here.
That's right. We are here.
Now, as far as some of those other ones, have you picked up any more of those, the movie line ones? Because those are actually very rare for me to find.
Yeah, same here. I found a Wreck-Gar about maybe a month ago. I only saw it the one time. Never saw him again. I have a Rodimus from that line as well, like just the regular figure. Not he doesn't have the cab. It's just before he became
so you got the hot rod version.
Yeah, just the regular hot rod version, which I thought they did a great job. The articulation's really nice on that. Like his robot mode is really cool. But yeah, you're right. Some of these things, I don't know what they're doing with the transformations now. They used to be a lot simpler. Now you're right. It is it's almost like they're making it more complicated, so you will break them.
It does seem like that sometimes. You know what though? I mean, sometimes it actually plays into the figure though, because like that Bumblebee one, incredibly difficult to get all the little pieces moving in the right places. And of course, like I said, they kept popping off. They felt like they're going to break. But if you didn't have that complex of a transformation, there was no way he was going to go from that robot form into that Cybertronian vehicle form. There was no way.
Oh, dude, yeah, I agree. Well, Cup is another great example. I don't know if you have him.
Yes, I did. I got the I'm trying to remember. I think I got the 86 movie one, I think. What's going on, Sherry? And what's up, Ashley? Hello there.
Hello, ladies.
Yeah, because I know I'm pretty sure they did one for Earthrise for Cup, but I'm pretty sure I picked up the movie one. The movie one is where the windshield on the front of his chest almost looks like transparent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's the transformation on him is pretty smooth up until you get to his shoulders. There's a weird slidey kind of disc that you have to move or maneuver. That pissed me off. I popped off the arm when I transformed him the first time, and I'm like, what the I was about to flip out, but I got it back on.
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing I will say, even as bad as some of these are with the transformations being ridiculously complicated, is that they've actually made them a lot sturdier than some of the earlier lines. Because when they had the and this was before Power of the Primes, and this was before the other one they had. I'm trying to remember which. It was called Generations toy line, and that went up through the 30 or 35th anniversary and everything like that. Those figures were so cheaply made that even just trying to pose them, you felt like you were going to snap them.
I think those are the ones that they sold in Walgreens.
Oh, well, no. These were the traditional Transformers. They were coming out of Vietnam. Is when they first started packaging them out of Vietnam.
I saw cheaper ones that they were selling in Walgreens.
Yeah, they're boxed. Usually you see Shockwave, Prowl, Sideswipe.
Yeah.
And there's one other one.
Because I looked at them
Jetfire.
Yeah, I was like, what is this cheap shit? They almost look like really bad bootlegs.
Well, they actually make a few different cheaper models of toys.
Yeah.
Not only do they make specials for Walgreens and stuff like that, but they also make ones for the dollar store places like Dollar General, which is not even technically a dollar store, but they make cheaper versions for them as well. And they're actually officially licensed from Hasbro. They're just extremely cheap to sell to kids to be able to try to still keep the name brand going when they can't afford the decent ones.
Yeah, it's insane, but I do like a lot of the things that they've been doing recently. But seeing that Bumblebee that was weird, a little discouraging. And like I said, I have the Trax figure. Car mode, vehicle mode is great. I think his robot mode is pretty flimsy and cheap. Like his leg articulation is terrible, and the transform is just annoying. I don't know.
What's going on, CJ? Yeah, there was one of the ones from the early war, or should I say the Siege line? It was the War for Cybertron Siege. And there was this one figure. I was waiting a long time to see this figure actually made, and I think it was Battle Trap. Or was it Fly? No, his name is Fly. It used to be Flywheels, but they renamed the Battle Trap or something like that. His figures looks amazing in robot form. Getting it into vehicle form sucks so many different levels of ass. Like I thought I was going to break it about 10 times over. And even once you got it in vehicle form, not everything snapped into place properly. So you like the arms, where the arms came in, they kept popping open. So it's like, it looks terrible.
Oh, dude. There was one figure that I got, a masterpiece one. I think it was the first release of Starscream. And it's a bigger figure. He's maybe closer to 11 or 12 inches. Something like that. I remember to transform this fucking figure. One of the biggest pains in the ass. I've never seen a transformer transform so poorly before. But he looked fantastic in vehicle mode, fantastic in robot mode. It's just doing it. It is like twisting your balls off. It's ridiculous. That and a Megatron figure I found. It's a bootleg, but he's also big. He's a little bit bigger than Starscream. That thing, I transformed him once. Didn't even do it properly. Couldn't close the gun entirely. And it was big in my hands, the way that they did like the handle part and everything. I was like, this is weird. But again, robot mode, fantastic.
No,
but
his
legs are like origami. I'm not kidding. How many times you got to fold and unfold shit and clip things in?
Well, I think that's part of the problem. They a lot of these companies, when they're making these figures, they worry so much about one mode only. And then they have to go through 20 million different hoops in order to get to the other mode.
Yeah.
And that's why you get this overly complicated transformation in a lot of these newer figures. And it's really not fun, especially for a kid, because most kids just don't have the patience to go through that many steps to transform these things. And I think that's why they came up with some of the like more play school type like lines at one time.
Right. I can understand a little bit of a challenge, because like if it's too easy to transform, like, come on, they could have done a better job. But if it's overly complicated, I'm like, holy crap, you need some little Asian kid to transform it for you. The ones who paint the figures over in the factories over there.
Yeah. CJH says, I'm still disappointed there are no official movie accurate small soldiers action figures in their movie accurate boxes. There's only been knockoff ones.
Oh, wow.
You know what though? It just seems like the more that we go on now with the retro lines that are being like rebranded and brought back out, like all these ones we've talked about already, whether it's Masters of the Universe or whether it's the real Ghostbusters, we are actually in a point in time where everybody wants to see that older stuff. So even though you haven't seen it up into this point, don't count it out that it won't, may not happen, because it possibly could at this point.
Yeah, that is true. It depends on those companies as well. Because if there is something you're looking for, like reach out on social media to some of these companies, like one of your favorite brands, and see if they're if you can make some noise, because that's usually how it works. I know NECA, that's what they've done with a lot of the toy lines that they've picked up. They kind of listen to the fans on if there's a big outcry for a certain item or brand, they might actually jump on it.
Yeah, well, there's a few of these companies that are doing what's going on, Tail29? What up? And Marshall Lewis, welcome. Smiles. Hope everyone is having a good night. Sits and watches. I hope you are having a good night too. That was one thing that Hasbro did. This was a few years back. I forget how many years back now, but they opened up a separate department called HasLab. And basically what they do is they come up with these ideas, mostly what they're getting from the fans of the franchises.
Right.
And they make prototypes of them, and they pretty much post them to see what people think about it and what their interest would be. And to gauge interest, they almost do like a GoFundMe kind of in a way for these things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a Kickstarter, GoFundMe type of thing. However, it works. It's probably more like Kickstarter, I'm imagining. So people fund into these projects,
Yeah,
and
like
that's how they
Unicron.
gauge. Yeah, that's how they gauge if there's enough interest to actually go to production with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know they did it with Unicron, and they did it with the Mandalorian ship. Those are the two that I'm aware of. Oh, and they did a Sentinel from X-Men.
Nice.
That's like in scale for the regular 6-inch Marvel Legends line. That was impressive. Holy crap! I seen two people do a review on that, and I was like, my jaw hit the floor. Like, he came with 3 different heads, different battle damage sections on him. I was like, holy crap! Lights, his eyes and his mouth and everything all light up. Yeah, it was damn impressive.
No, I mean, we were pretty. At least I was, and a lot of people that grew up in that same time frame when they were releasing some of those early X-Men figures. I mean, I'm talking like after Secret Wars, because obviously those were more loosely based on how the Star Wars figures are, with almost no articulation. But when they got into the ones that were more articulated, and they had like a Wolverine's claws would pop out.
Yeah.
Then he had a section on his chest that you could flip, and it looks, like he has some kind of damage or something. And they had a Sabretooth figure with the same way, where he had a big spin panel in the middle of his chest, where after you hit it, it's got the 3 claw marks from Wolverine. Like, they started doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember. I had a good number of those, but then they started doing like more solid figures. They were still kind of in like that line, but they did like less little gimmicky stuff.
I liked some of the gimmicky stuff, because I had the Cyclops one where it had the button on the back, so you got the laser blast, the plasma blast from his eyes.
Yes, he had. They did the sound box on them too. I think like on the second release. I remember, because it drove me crazy. I remember one night my brother on his figure. The button got stuck in the middle of the night. You just heard optic blast fire over and over.
What's going on, Bruce Lombardo? Welcome.
Hello,
CJ says they've gotten close with movie accurate Toy Story figures, but not quite with Buzz yet. Actually, I seen one like early on that was a really good looking Buzz Lightyear. It looked very much like the original Toy Story, but that was early on.
I'm sure there's going to be plenty more coming soon. Like, they got a new movie or something coming out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what I picked up, and I picked it up at Ollie's. If anybody's not familiar with Ollie's is one of those stores where they get things that have been pretty much marked down, and they're moving out of the main stores. And Ollie gets them dirt cheap, just like KB Toy Store used to do. But Ollie's gets it with all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
I wound up picking up a Toy Story issue Slinky Dog. Looks just like the Slinky Dog from the first Toy Story, but it's a legit Slinky Dog. Like, and it's got like the old school packaging that you probably would have seen like in the 40s or 50s.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I seen it. It was only like $6, and I was like, yeah, I'm picking that up for $6.
Oh, hell yeah. So that's it. If you find a figure that's really cheap, you might as well do it. There's that Spawn figure I reviewed. That thing was like half price. I'm like, yeah, what the hell? He's got a good design. It has its issues, but all the issues are pretty much paint related. That's
one thing I would say that they're getting a little bit better with a lot of these toys. They are getting better with paint applications.
Yeah, that's good to see. That's the one thing that drives me nuts about McFarlane. It's a lot of lines. If it's not like a good partnership, whatever, or it's just them doing it, they've been going cheaper for some stupid reason. I just reviewed. I posted up a Mortal Kombat figure that he did, Noob Zybot, and the paint application is fantastic on it. And then you look at the Spawn figure that you think it's his. They would have made sure there's a lot more paint going on in there, and some of it is just like molded solid pieces. It's like, what the fuck? Why didn't you put a wash or anything on it? No dry brush? It makes no sense, because it's just a few pennies more. It ain't shit. I know, it's crazy.
What's going on there? Ian?
But yeah, dude, I don't know.
There's so many different companies that are doing it right now. I'm just hoping that this is not something that is going to get pushed out with the ridiculousness
Yeah.
of some of these woke companies.
Yeah,
I hope
no,
they continue down the line.
yeah. Hasbro's been stepping up though. I mean, they're doing the digital paint on faces and portraits now. Like everything is perfect on those.
Now, if we could just get them to stop with that crap with the CRT garbage.
Yeah, that would be great.
But I got one other one that I wanted to show off. I haven't even done a video for this yet, so this is an exclusive for Collectible Past, and it's another figure from the Transformers line. This one is actually from the Kingdom line. So,
War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Cyclonus. Now the Cyclonus figure actually looks pretty decent, and in comparison to, say, his commander Galvatron, he is fairly comparable in size. And as you can see right here, putting him in a pose, he has incredible posability. Of course, you have the normal, you have the knee, and it actually is a bit of a double jointed because there's a piece right here at the bottom half of the leg, and of course the knee joint itself. Of course, you have the twist at the thigh, you have the pivot and turn at the hip, as well as having a rocker down here at the bottom of the feet to be able to get them in all those different type of poses. And the pivot does work both forward and back as well, which is incredibly nice for some of these more articulate poses. Of course, there's a bit of a waist swivel. He's got decent articulation in the head, goes back pretty far and actually goes down pretty far. And of course, the shoulders, the normal that you would expect, out and around. A bit of a twist at the upper arm. The hand actually spins as well, although this one is relatively tight. It was something that they did with a lot of those earlier figures, and some of the newer ones don't have it, like Galvatron doesn't have it, but he does have the ability, if you put a light behind it, that his eyes will glow of the figure when he's in robot mode. That's just something I missed. It happens. But once I got him completed, he doesn't look bad in his space jet form. Overall, though, an incredible looking figure. And a damn good alternate mode.
So that was one of the ones I was working on. I actually clipped that up pretty big because I didn't realize how bad I recorded the first time because I had piggies yelling at me in the front. So I'm trying to record something in the back there yelling at me. My cell phone was starting to ring, and I was like, "Urgh!" So probably I'm going to fix that up a little bit when I go into editing on it. And then I have the part with Cringer sitting there with me because every single time that I do a Transformers review, Cringer always has to be, Jumper rather, always has to be present. It's just,
Nice.
just the way it is. It makes sense. So,
Oh, of course. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, he is a good figure, though. I do like that one as well. And yeah, I'm happy they did the piping for the head. That way you could light up the eyes like that. That's always a great touch.
nice touch.
See, yeah, for that figure, he gets all the right check marks for articulation for sure. I love that they're putting that kind of ankle rocker in there. You need waist articulation as well. I don't care what anyone says. You need at least a swivel. But yeah, I mean, he's got a good range. You can put him into some nice poses. They got to do that with more stuff. And, luckily they have been. Hasbro's been really good with the Transformers, at least the newer ones, that they do that. Like almost every one of their figures have that good kind of that rocker, that pivot for the ankle area.
Yeah, well, I was actually really surprised because usually you will see the rock, but to see the pivot back and forth like that too.
Yeah, that was cool.
And what's going on, Steve?
What up?
CJ says, I work at a record and collectible store, so I always get to see all the brand collectible new action figure. I guess you meant brand new collectible action figures and such. Some of them are extremely detailed.
Yeah. It's like I said, with the technology that they have right now, these figures, they just keep getting better and better. There's really no excuse to have them going backwards, Just give us our cool characters in a more detailed and way better looking form. What's up?
See, now wait just a darn tootin' minute. Did you take that out of the box? Rage mode. No wonder the guinea pigs were mad. No, you know what? Here's the one thing about me when it comes to Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
If I buy a Transformer, I want to take it out of the box and I want to play with it. I'm sorry. I'm a big kid. I want to play with the damn thing.
Yeah. That's the point of Transformers. Transform them.
Exactly. And that was part of the reason why I didn't want to have anything to do with the Red series. Because the Red series are incredibly cartoon accurate figures. Mm-hmm. And they come in all these wonderful attachments. They look amazing, and you could pose them any way you want. They're incredible looking, but they're basically posable figures. They're not really Transformers. I don't want them because of that reason.
I'm with you. I've seen them at a couple of stores. I'm like, yeah, they do look nice, but if they don't transform, I don't want them. And I saw Bumblebee is the same exact size as the rest of them. That was a huge mistake.
Yep.
For that red line.
Yeah, that doesn't even make any sense. I mean, yeah, he should be smaller. Unfortunately, with that Origins line, I think they made him too small.
Okay.
Because he seemed like he was even smaller than like the Cliff Jumper figure and the other Bumblebee figure that came with the War for Cybertron.
Oh, yeah, he's smaller than them?
Yeah, he seems like he's a little bit smaller than them. I think they just overdid it for that line. They made him way too small.
Yeah, possibly.
What's going on, Fish Chozo? Transformers are supposed to transform. That is the point. Absolutely.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, and it's not to say that they don't have some incredible looking statuettes and everything, too. They do. But once again, you know, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a Transformer.
Exactly. I still want to review a couple for my channel as well. I haven't yet.
No, we got to get into that. You definitely got to bring them on here.
Oh, of course, dude. Of course.
CJH asked, what about the knockoff Transformers that are based off of other franchises like Star Wars, Disney? Actually, they are not knockoff. They are legitimate through Hasbro Takara and in partnership with Marvel or Lucasfilm. I actually have a few of them. I have Obi-Wan Kenobi and I have Luke Skywalker. Okay. Luke Skywalker turns into an X-Wing. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi one I has turns into the Jedi Starfighter that we've seen in the prequels.
All right, nice. The only one I've seen, I almost picked it up. I'm the price is way too much. The Ecto 1.
I got that.
Yeah, I was on the fence. I had it in my hands. I'm like,
Well, here's the thing that pissed me off. I seen it the first time and I was looking at it and I didn't have enough money at the time.
Right.
And it came in the original like G1 style boxes. So by the time I picked it up, they had actually re-released it and they put it in just a plain plastic blister.
Clamshell.
Yeah, clamshell type thing.
Yeah, I that's when I saw them. And I'm like, because it was sitting in Targets and it still said like, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive or whatever. And I'm like, I think the thing was like, what was it, $80?
50. No, it was 50.
It was 50?
Yeah, it was $49.99. At least that's what it was in Target when I went to go get it. Because I screwed up, Vin. I did this the whole time that I was cleaning up my dad's house because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing because I had so many things on my mind. Like, I got to get back over to clean house. I got to run over and do this and get this paperwork. I got to go out to the store to get more totes to put things away. And then I was picking up toys in the process of doing that and packing them away while I'm trying to pack up a whole house. So I wound up picking up an Ecto 1. And I went out to another Target to go look for more totes. And I seen an Ecto 1. And it was like a week later. And I was like, oh, crap, I got the Ecto 1. Completely forgot that I already bought one and packed it away. So now I had two of them.
Holy shit. That's pretty well, one you can definitely keep in the box.
Well, yeah, or I can sell one.
Well,
what's up? I'm not creative. But, I mean, I actually wound up doing that with a bunch of other figures. Like, I wound up picking up, and I don't even know how I did this. I picked up 3 of the RC figures.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
I picked up one was from Earthrise, and I wound up somehow picking up 2 of them from Kingdom.
Wow. They're the same exact figure, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all exactly the same. It's the same thing with the Optimus Prime one with the trailer and everything.
Yeah.
They released them in Earthrise and then they released them in Kingdom. They were exactly the same, of course, except the box.
The one that pissed me off was Ultra Magnus. They did them in a kind of weird futuristic Cybertronian mode, and then a couple months later they released the Earthrise one where he's the actual truck.
Well, did you the one that they actually released for Earthrise initially was like a special one in a big huge box? It was like a secret surprise ones that they were doing for the shows. Because the one I got, I wound up once again. I don't know how I did it. I wound up picking up 3 of these damn things. I don't know if I went to, because I ordered them online, and I think instead of hitting one, I think I might have accidentally hit it a couple times because I was having some troubles with the internet.
Yeah.
And I wound up getting 3 of them. I got a really good price on them, so it doesn't even matter. But he came with like this little weird black gel or something in there, almost like a goo. And if you dig inside the goo, it had like an Energon cube or something.
Holy crap. No, I never even saw that. So wait, is it the Cybertronian version or the
It's the
truck?
Earth one. It's the Earth one.
Oh, wow.
It was supposed to be like I think they were calling them sneak peek ones or something, or I forget the title. I have them all like in the tote in the back.
Wow. That's awesome.
It looked really good though, because I took the one out and I of course went through it all, like checked it all out. I didn't go through the trouble of transforming at the time because I was still up north at my aunt's house and I wasn't just going to go through all that.
Yeah.
But I took them out and checked them out, seeing how the figure moved and everything, how the joints were, and damn thing looked really good.
Yeah,
Really good.
It's beautiful. It's a nice looking figure. Like I said, I got the Cybertronian one. I still think it looks great, but I would have preferred to have the regular Earth one, you know? But like, I wasn't going to get another. No, one's enough.
I tell you, out of all the ones that I'm kind of upset that I didn't get, there was 2, and I was looking for them, and I thought I bought them, but I haven't really found them in all my totes. Then again, that doesn't mean anything because I still had 300 totes sitting in my garage that I haven't had a chance to go through. But I was looking at both Skylynx and Jetfire.
Yeah, I love Jetfire. That thing's a beautiful figure.
And all the little touches that they added to, like even like the little, I don't know if you'd noticed it, but the insignia on his chest, you could flip it from Autobot to Decepticon.
Yeah, dude, they went above and beyond with that figure. All the little extras he has, and every blast he's got, like what he has, like close to 10 different blast effects.
Yeah, and they all you could separate. You could separate them and create different blast effects on top of that.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That thing was killer. I've got him at a pretty good price online somewhere. I never saw him in the stores. I'm like, nah, he's one of my favorite characters. I'm just gonna fucking order that thing.
But I mean, I was looking at him, and like I said, I was looking at the Skylynx, and I know I picked up at least one of them. At least I thought I did. And where the hell it's at, I have no clue.
Jeez.
CJH, I remember there being a board game called Escape from the Death Star with Luke in a stormtrooper armor and Darth Vader from the 90s. Yeah. I actually had those figures from the Power of the Force because that's what that was from. It was from the Power of the Force line, and they came with 2 exclusive figures of Darth Vader and Luke. Darth Vader really wasn't much of an exclusive, but the Luke one was. I wound up having just the figures. That's all I had. Both of them sealed on their blisters. And I think I wound up selling them with a big giant lot of Star Wars figures, which I didn't get very much from. I think I may have gotten $1.50 a figure if I was lucky.
Wow.
Yeah, I got next to nothing for them.
Yeah, well, it's a dead franchise unless it's a Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, I found a speeder bike and with one of the riders on it, pretty cheap, and he's in scale with the Hot Toys. So like I have that thing displayed. I touched up. I took like one of my silver markers I signed with, and I just kind of put like damage on the speeder bike, and it looks great.
Going on, Brightest Day? What up?
What up?
There's so many of these other figures that I would love to just pick up, but it gets to a point though when you're collecting all these things, even the retro ones that are being done right, you start to have to get a little bit picky because you start running out of room unless you're planning on selling them.
Oh yeah, dude. Same here. I just got too much shit. And a lot of them I got like in Rubbermaids.
That's the problem I have. All these damn totes.
Yeah. See, that's I'm getting rid of most of like boxes on the smaller figures. If it's the bigger ones, I usually keep the boxes, but yeah, smaller ones I gotta toss them.
Well, when I get my eventually when I have the ability to put the extension onto the house and I can have my big giant room with all my collectibles in, my Transformers alone are probably going to fill 90% of the walls up.
Damn.
I'm telling you, it's that many. I've got 3 48-gallon totes filled with a lot of the older ones and and some of the Combiner Wars and Powered Primes and then the Generations line and everything like that. And then I've got 3 more totes, 28-gallon totes filled with all the newer stuff from like the Siege lines.
Damn.
Then I've got a whole nother like pull out, like those little mini like side bed plastic totes where it's got the pull out drawers, like the plastic ones. I've got that filled with all G1 stuff too.
Holy shit balls.
There's a lot of them, a whole lot of them. And then that's not including like all the World of Warcraft figurines that I have, some of the old Marvel Legends figures that I have. The new, I have a few of the new G.I. Joe. I only got a couple. I picked up Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes.
Yeah. See, I don't understand how
band figures too.
See, I don't understand how anyone could be hooked on like hardcore drugs when it's like just get figures instead. It's just as addictive, but you actually have something at the end of the day.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, the 1977 board game, which I don't think the 1977 one came with any figures. I actually found that over my father's house. I believe it just had cardboard stand-ups. But then, you had the 1990, but they also had a more recent one. Because with the newer one that they just released, like maybe a year or two ago, they had a Tarkin figure in it, which was never released with the original Star Wars line. And this one is done like the old school Kenner Star Wars 3 3/4 figures.
Oh, all right. Nice. Dude, yeah, it's impressive, man.
Yeah, Lego tends to go up in price. Yeah, some of those Lego figures. Oh my God! Somebody sent me a Yoda Lego figure.
Right.
Big giant box. The thing is huge. I don't want it. I was never all that big into Legos to begin with.
Yeah.
It's not that I didn't have them play with them, but I don't want a big giant Lego figure. So I'm looking online and I'm seeing some people selling that thing for like $300. I'm like, really?
Dude, there's a Lego store at the mall that I go to, and let me tell you, the prices on those things, they're starting at like $100 and go up to like nearly $1,000, depending on what the hell it is in the store. I seen them do like the Aston Martin from 007. Yeah. I'm like, holy crap! But like, they look amazing, like all finished, but like that's just something I don't have patience for to do anything like that, and I certainly don't have the money or the space. Because holy shit, man, that store is insane.
Yeah, oh my God, like all the money that you wind up spending on those things too, especially if you lose one piece.
Oh yeah,
you lose one piece, then you got to go buy a huge bag because it's not like they sell small little like replacement bags.
Right.
you gotta go buy this huge bag of freaking parts. Like, nah, that's all right. And God forbid if it's a specialty set.
Yeah.
Because then you need to write to Lego and then hope that you'll be able to get a replacement for it.
Jesus.
Nah, that's okay. Like it's bad enough dealing with these toy companies. I've actually had some pretty good responses from Hasbro when I've had issues with some of their figures, because there was one figure that I got from the Combiner. Was it? No, it was Power to Primes, and it was supposed to be a reproduction of Dreadwind and Dreadwing, and because they were two guys in the original G1 line. That the two robots would turn into jets, and then the two jets would merge into a larger jet called Dreadwing. And the one I got, he was missing the wings on the figure, like to form his jet. They were just missing. So I contacted Hasbro, let them know what happened. And they were like, so sorry for that. Can you send us a picture? I sent them a picture and said, okay, good enough. We're going to mail you out a new one. I was like, don't you need me to mail this one? He's like, No, you could do whatever with it. You could sell it. You could give it away. It don't matter. I was like, really? Oh,
Nice.
holy shit. Like, yeah, I was actually really surprised at how good the customer service for Hasbro was when there was a problem with their figure.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. Shit.
Injector seat. Yeah, you know what? I did find the old silver Aston Martin Matchbox. I think it was Matchbox. It was either Matchbox or maybe it was Ertl or something. But it had a little button on the side, and you press the button, and the roof would lift up, and the ejector seat would throw the little red figure out of the passenger seat. Unfortunately, I don't have the little figure that sat in the passenger seat anymore. Because probably the button was hit at some point and the figure went flying out of the car and God only knows what happened to it.
Oh, damn.
I wonder how third printing affects the whole action figure market. People can now just print that stuff. Yeah, but that's the thing. They could print it, but they're not going to be able to make it last very long because a lot of that stuff, that the plastic that they're using for the 3D printing, it's just not as good is what you can get from a lot of the toy companies, unless it's the stuff from the mid 2000s, which just seemed to be all like trash.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have too much experience with the 3D printer stuff. But yeah, I guess it depends on the resin that you're using.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with it. But one thing though, is if you have those 3D printers and you're thinking like, well, I'm just going to sell some Transformer parts, man, you're going to make a lot of people like pissed off. Because once they figure out that they got some 3D printed shit, they're going to get mad as hell.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine so. But like I said, we do. I think we talked about last time that they have like these kits that you could put like parts onto the Siege or Earthrise figures, and it fills in the gaps for the robot modes and shit.
Yep. Yeah, they even make them for the G1 figures. Like I was talking about that for like Ratchet, Ironhide. No, I did see something else. Like I was talking about just the heads. They actually make something to cover up the arms and the legs too, so they look more like a full robot, like you've seen on the cartoons.
Yep. Yeah, I saw it with a couple of them. Who's that one guy? I think his name is Mgo or Mco, something like that. He does like all Transformers reviews on his YouTube channel, and yeah, he shows a lot of those kind of like the knockoff figures, legit figures, and yeah, that's where I saw a lot of them. Where those pieces you just plug them in and they look great. You could transform them just as easily. You don't have to ever take off those parts.
And that's the cool thing. That's attention to detail right there. When you can make crate parts for these figures to make them look better, and you don't have to take them off. Because then, unfortunately, they become like the what was like the early Transformers. Like before they were ever Transformers, they were parts formers, is what they were.
Yeah.
I mean, even with Optimus Prime to a degree from that Diaclone, it was a parts former because you had to put the hands on and, you had to do all these different things. And like Starscream, you had to put the hands and you had to take the wings and move the wings and then put the attachments on his arms for his missile launchers or what's supposed to be his null ray. So it's so much different now with what they're doing, and a lot of these guys on these third markets are really paying attention. Well, what would the fans like? The fans would like to get something that makes us look better, but they don't have to remove it. It could be something permanent on their figure.
Yep, and that's a cool thing.
Now, I wish there was more of these people doing that kind of stuff. I mean, I've got some of my own ideas on how to improve figures from like the G1 line. I just don't even know how I would do it. Like some of the older figures, they always break in certain spots. And I was thinking, like, how cool would it be to remove the plastic element of those parts that always broke on the G1 figures and replace it with something that was a die-cast mold of the original part?
Oh, dude, that'd be amazing. That would be great. Like, I know a lot of the masterpieces, like, that's why they were more expensive, because they were using more die-cast parts on them. That's why they were so heavy as well.
As opposed to some of these newer masterpiece ones that are just all 100% plastic.
Oh, yeah. Well, what do you call it? Starscream, he was all plastic. Yeah, maybe I think 2 metal pieces on him because it was like inside of him for transformation purposes. But you still get stress marks on a couple of the areas when you're transforming him. That's why he was always such a pain in the ass. Like,
well, I was looking at one in Toys R Us before they folded, and they had a masterpiece Thundercracker. Thing was huge. Like it was over 1.5 feet tall. It was huge.
Yeah.
Damn thing was like $75, and it was nothing but a big giant plastic Thundercracker. Like, don't get me wrong, incredibly detailed and posable and all that stuff, but 75 for something like that?
Too much. Too much. But that's the thing. It's like there's so many different parts and everything, and that's what usually that's what shoots up the price on these things, because they gotta mold every little part, you know, because that's what it always was. When it's time to cut steel, that's where the majority of your money goes when you're making these figures.
I wonder if that's why they didn't have to jack up the prices that much on the G1 reissues that they were doing. Because for the most part, they kept them simple in design like the original ones.
Oh, yeah. They were making a lot of profit on those because they were more simple designs.
Yeah, because I talked about I picked up the Blaster one, and I wound up, once again, accidentally buying a couple. But he looks exactly like the one that came out in the 80s. I could not see any difference whatsoever.
He's a bigger figure too, right?
Yeah, he's fairly large. Like he's about 12 inches tall or better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember seeing one a couple of years ago in Target, but I never picked them up.
Yeah, they all disappeared relatively quick.
Yeah, because that's the thing that's funny. It's right when they started releasing Siege, then if there were still some of those figures out there, people were going back and grabbing them as well. Like, oh, you're doing the classic one. They're doing G1. All right, fuck it. You know, and then when people go back looking for them, they can't find any of those other figures. Sons of bitches.
And it always seemed to be like the same figures. If you went back and found anything, it was always the same figures always on the shelf every time that nobody wanted.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's how it is. I seen a couple Transformers where I wasn't familiar with the characters, but like they had really cool designs. One I saw was like a triple changer in a big box. It was a Decepticon. He was mostly like black and purple and gray. Damn thing looked amazing, but I only saw it the one time. I'm like, maybe I'll get it next time I go, and never saw him again. Just like a one-time release or some shit.
I know they did what was it? Astro Train.
Yeah, Astro. Yeah, they did him for Siege. Yeah, I got that one. That's a cool looking figure. He's way smaller than he should be, but it still looks good.
Well, I mean, if you go by the original toy line, the original toy was tiny. I still have them.
Oh, yeah.
Those things are small.
Right.
But
I mean, he's not a figure you could ever do in scale because, I mean, we all knew that, you know, you're supposed to fit other Decepticons inside of them, and there's no way you're going to do that in a practical way.
Well, I mean, part of the problem is what a lot of that stuff, and they had to explain. They had to explain why they did it that way. Yeah, they called it mass displacement, and that's how Soundwave and Megatron shrink down. That's how Megatron could shrink down to the size of an actual handgun to fit in a human's hand because of mass displacement.
Yep. Which is interesting how they kind of work around it.
I hear you, Bruce. I hear you. I don't support white slavers. Bruce, you are awesome.
Bruce is awesome.
I know we're going to have to wrap up soon because Drew should be going on at 8:30, right? Or
I don't remember what time he's going on.
I forget if he's going on 8:30 or 9. Like we'll go for a little bit longer, but I don't really want to run over nobody else. I mean, Red Gaze was gracious enough to stop slightly early because it sure sounded like he had a lot more wind in his sails to me.
Yeah, well, he's also doing fulfillment, so I'm sure like he wants to get back down there and get more of those fantastic Sunsworn books packaged.
Tell you what, this has been a good year already for comics.
Oh, I think so.
From the independent circle, I mean, I've already gotten what. I mean, other than the ones that you already had completed, I've gotten 2 new books that just came out this year already, and possibly maybe a third, depending on when Chris goes to start shipping.
Oh yeah, he should be shipping pretty soon. I saw that he's got a couple of like the prototype books
Yeah, I
proof
know.
copies.
Yeah, I know. He said he was going to look into doing the mailers too. So, like how Red did with Bonds and Sunstorm.
Okay. Oh, I thought he just did it for the stands for the little standy dudes. Because I saw the boxes on those. But if he's stepping up for that too, dude, that's amazing. Yeah, Chris is awesome. Great guy.
And I know I backed a couple other projects, and I don't remember what I backed. Once again, here we go. It's the same thing with the damn Transformers.
Yeah.
I bought stuff and then I forgot what I got.
Yeah, just go to your what do you call it?
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo. Yeah, you can check. There's like the whole list you could go through.
CGH, we used to have a rare Star Trek bridge set. Shame that it was taken out of the box to play with. Also had an old Symbiote Planet Venom action figure, and I can't find any of them in the box.
Wow. I'm pretty amazed at some of these figures that they've released over the years. Like,
oh, he won't start for another hour?
Oh, okay.
I guess the drew's not as long as we thought.
All right, cool. Excellent.
I'm almost wondering if maybe we should start like it's 7:45 instead to give Red a little extra time.
Yeah, we could talk about it. Either way, I'm good. You just let me know.
Yeah, and I got to make sure I fix the intro again because apparently I screwed it up. See, this is what happens when you have guinea pigs nibbling at the wires. But yeah, I definitely want to get back into doing some of these reviews on some of them other figures. I still haven't made up my mind of whether or not I'm going to take all those Masters of the Universes out of the boxes yet, because I still have Beastman and Tila and Evelyn, Man-at-Arms, and Skeletor.
Okay. The retro one?
Yeah, the retro ones. I have them all. They're all sealed into blisters. I haven't taken them out, done anything with them. I've looked at them, but I just... Oh, and Battle Cat and Panther.
Nice. Yeah, they're good looking figures. I like the new Battle Cat. I mean, he's huge, but dude, that figure looks amazing.
It does. It like all the articulation that's in it too, because you remember the original one was just from the Big Jim line, and there was no articulation.
Right. Yeah, that makes me laugh. They just took that.
Yeah, they just took it and repainted it.
Yeah, repainted it. That shit was hilarious.
You know what, though? A lot of those companies were doing that at the time, and I actually found a few things in my dad's house that were basically label swap toys. Yeah. One of which is, I don't remember what it was originally branded as, but they had this big, giant, goofy-looking electronic toothbrush. It was an electric toothbrush. It took about, like, I think it was C. Two big C batteries went in this damn toothbrush. It was like the size of a flashlight from back then. And then at the tip, it had just like a little plug-in toothbrush that you would put in the top. And you hit the button and the damn thing would vibrate so you can clean your teeth. Well, what they did is they took the original scroll paperwork out of the thing and they just inserted something new with Star Wars and then sold it as a lightsaber toothbrush. I actually had that thing and it was still sitting on my father's house and I brought it back. The only thing I didn't have the little toothbrushes that went on the end of it. That was the only thing I didn't have anymore. I think my father might have thrown them out on me.
Yeah. Well, if they were used, sure.
Oh, you know what? You cut the bristles off. At least have the attachment to stick in the end of it.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
But they had something else that was like a Red Baron like shoot up game, like an early light shooting game, and they label swapped that and they turned it into shoot the Death Star game. They just changed some of the graphics that went on the inside for shooting it. They did a lot of that label swapping stuff at freaking Kenner because they had no toys to put on the market.
Yep. Dude, yeah, I know they got desperate.
It worked though for them.
Oh, sure. Made it killing. Just repurpose these things. Bam. It's extra money.
Yeah, at some point I'm going to start digging back through these crates and start doing some more short videos for that, for here and for going old school. So I definitely want to lean into some of that stuff I brought back because a lot of it's amazing, some of that stuff that I found.
Well, just for a second, too, staying on that topic, that's why a lot of these companies, they'll reuse parts on figures. And they have especially if anyone in the collecting community for the Marvel Legends. They call it like the Cap Bucky body. Like there's one specific body that's like it's all ripped. Like I guess they're very proud of it, and they use it for like I don't know 24 different figures. It's like hilarious. Like they just change the paint job, or they change maybe the hands or the feet and the head. You know, because like most superheroes have like skin tight, costumes anyway. So it's just like minor changes, or they add a belt or an accessory.
What's going on, Curtis? It's good to see you, buddy. Hope everything's going well, and I'm assuming you're still on the road. Do you ever rebuy a lost toy that you no longer have?
That's a good question. Have you done that?
Well, yeah. My entire G1 Transformers collection is all rebought.
There you go. Yeah. I don't think I've really done that, unless it's something a little bit more recent, and it wouldn't be because I lost it. It could be because something's broken or some shit like that. But yeah, it really depends.
Yeah, I've definitely done it. I've done it a few times, actually.
Oh, if I had the money, I would definitely go back and look for some certain figures like I never had, or I just couldn't afford them. You know.
Just talking about the good stuff. What up?
That's right. What up, Walton?
The tree historian. It's always good to see that guy.
Yeah.
He's bringing the saplings with him.
Good dude. Good dude.
Yeah, going well. Yep, I'm still out of town, waiting for a paycheck for a laptop.
Nice. What's one of your favorite Transformer figures? Like the top three?
The top three? I would definitely say Megatron, then Grimlock, and Jazz.
And this is from which lines?
The G1 line, the original G1 line. Like if I had to say my top ones, those would be my top ones.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that there hasn't been a lot of other incredible figures that I love throughout the years, but as far as the ones that resonate with me the most, those were it.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, you said them pretty quickly, so you're very confident in that. Shit. I guess like my favorite. I mean, I've always been a huge fan of Optimus Prime, so he's probably the one Transformer I have like the most of would be him, because I was getting all different versions of him. So I have, I think, 3 knockoffs. What are they called? A Wang. I forgot the name of the company, but they're the ones who did like the best ones, where it's a larger figure. He's like maybe somewhere between 13 and 15 inches, I want to say. Something like that. He's big. He's like 1.5 feet nearly. That's the one I talked about last time. I gotta dig him out. I still haven't yet. I haven't had a chance to, but I want to get that thing out. He might be my first review, because if I'm gonna do Transformers, I want to go big first. You know,
go big or go home.
Exactly. And that's an impressive looking figure. I just got to see if he can fit in the light box. That's like Vinnie does all these Transformers reviews now, but it's only big figures, and they're all crouched down on one knee.
Now, I want to hear you straining when you lift them, like.
Oh, dude. Well, in Transform, you're gonna hear a lot of F-bombs.
I know when I was doing some of the ones where I was talking about different model or different years that they were produced, the different Optimus Primes. Yeah. I was like looking through them, and I was like, I'm going to put this one in a review talking about this figure and this figure, and I'm put a few Optimus Primes up, and I started looking at them all, and I was like, I swear all these Optimus Primes look like they're about the same size from the main Transformers line. So I started putting them all together. The one from the Generations from the video games, from War for Cybertron and Fall Cybertron, they're basically the same height. And they're basically about the same height as the G1 version.
Wow.
And so then I started bringing out some of the newer ones, like Combiner Wars, like right in the same height area. Like they're all basically right around the same height. Like I don't know if they did that on purpose, if that was just like a happy accident, but like all of them seem to be right around the same height.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
Because you don't see that with a lot of the other figures. A lot of the other figure heights are all over the place, like Soundwave. Like,
oh, dude, yeah.
There's no stationary height for Soundwave. He's all over the place.
Yeah, I gotta say though, I really like the what was it? The War for Cybertron, the Siege one. I thought they did a great job with those. A lot of people bitched because they didn't like all the battle damage on them, but I liked it. I thought it added something extra to the figures.
That's not true.
What?
What Walton said. I was telling my girlfriend Ashley Lynn.
Oh,
I know these Italians. The moment I say something in the chat, it's going to be, hey, look, Walton, tree fucker. She laughed. She knew it's true. Because I was born in the national forest, fighting for your right to get wood without splinters. We shimmy, but we do not kneel.
he's making sandwiches for Ashley right now. Leave him alone. He said, good dude.
There are some toys where I'd like to rebuy, but the original that I would have owned would have had sentimental value, so it would feel wrong to replace it.
Yeah.
To a degree, I understand that. Like, all my original Transformers got stolen from me.
Yep.
There was a few, like my aunt bought me my very first larger Transformer, which was Jazz, and it was one of the reasons why he's on the top of my list for figures. I mean, number one, the figure looks badass, but I mean, because it was the first one I ever got of the larger figures.
Yeah.
So would I have liked to have had the original one still? Yeah. But right. I'm just as happy as, with having the replacement for it.
Right. Well, see, I think that's why these new kind of re-release of old properties, they're selling so well because, yeah, a lot of us are like looking back, like, okay, we don't have like those certain figures anymore, G.I. Joes or whatever. And now they're re-releasing these things or making new ones that, again, like they have the 6-inch line now for G.I. Joe, the classifieds. You can't find those things anywhere. Like they sell out immediately. You have the scalpers that go in there right away. Why? Because they know it's these awesome characters that people grew up with that now, oh my God, they're in line with like Marvel Legends and everything else. And they're super articulated and they come with all these accessories. So I'd say to a degree, yeah, it might not be the exact figures from back in the day, but if they're the newer versions and new, re-releases and, got all the bells and whistles, yeah, definitely. I know I got my fair share. In fact, I shot 2 figures, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. I found from the movie, which I did not see, but the figures look great, and I got them like at a discount. So I'm like, oh, screw it, I'll get them. And yeah, they're pretty impressive. So they'll probably be my 2 next reviews. So it'll be up on the channel.
Yeah, I'm still trying to make up my mind whether or not I want to unbox those 3 3/4 ones of Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow that I got. I have some of my originals, like the ones from. This wasn't from the very first line. This was like either second or third iteration of Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. So it's a Storm Shadow in the white and gray camouflage. It's mostly the white outfit, but it's like the white and gray, like snow camouflage.
Yeah. And
then it's got the Snake Eyes who came with, what was it? He came with the wolf.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a damn nice touch that they did.
But I was out at Target just recently, and I seen some of those larger G.I. Joe figures. I seen an ass load in the one Target near me, but it was all the same figure. All the exact same figure. The Cobra Commander with the face shield.
Yeah, that he came out in the first line. No one could find them. And then, yeah, I guess people bitched enough, and that's what they did. They released him. I know, what's his name? Major Blood was one that you could find a little bit easier. And in Walmart, for some reason, they had Flint and with the female one. What the hell's her name? The one that they based off of. Lady J. The one that they based off of Raquel
or
Welch.
Scarlet.
No, Lady J.
Okay.
They're 2 newer figures, and I saw them at 2 different Walmarts, and they were just stacked. It was those 3 figures, the Cobra Commander and those 2. And, yeah, they look great. They look amazing. I might review them as well. Depends. Again, if people want to see them, I'll do them.
That's bullshit, Steven. You're not surrounded by vowels. This advertising by Walton has been brought to you by the letter T for trees.
I thought you were going to say the letter F. Because fuck you guys.
Because you tree fucker. Surrounded by trees. Now, much love, Stephen. You and your enemies. Just keep them away from me.
Hey, as long as he's not a furry, right?
He can be a furry if he wants to. We're not going to kink shame here. I don't know how Ashley feels about this, but I know, Ashley, the day that Walton gets that candle and he lights it, you probably want to make sure you're not even near the state. So wherever you're at, you're probably better off staying there. It's going to smell for quite some time. I'm sure the whole trailer park is going to be screaming at Walton.
You really are a bastard.
Yeah, I am.
Too fucking funny.
I can't help it. I wrote a book once. Yeah, you just keep living on the past, Walton. Lord Darkhell, and I'm surrounded by assholes. No.
He came in here to support us, and he just just attack after attack.
This is how I show my respect for the guy.
I know.
I can't help it. It's not my fault. This is how I was raised.
That's right. It's all good. it's like the Don Rickles way of raising a kid. Same deal.
Yeah, there you go, Keck.
We
surrounded by bowels. But like we're talking about some of the other ones, and still to this day I haven't found them. And I've been looking for them as this damn re-release retro Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. I still can't find them.
They're so I didn't bother. I wanted the movie ones that NECA did, but I couldn't find them anywhere.
Yeah, the last thing I remember seeing was the statues.
Yeah. When Toys R Us was still around, like right before they closed, I know they released Michelangelo and Raphael 1/4 scale. They look fantastic, but I am not paying $120 or $130 for a figure that big. And where the hell am I going to stick them? Nope. I wanted the 7-inch line.
Well, the last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that I actually found and picked up were, I want to say that they had Nickelodeon written on the box. And I forget the company that did them, but they were like the die-cast figures. The teeny tiny little, maybe 1-inch tall figures. If
Holy
they were
crap.
even, yeah, they were tiny. And I picked up Michelangelo and Raphael, and then I picked up a play set that came with, I think it was Leonardo and Shredder.
All right.
So it was it was a big play set with these two little mini figures, metal figures that came on it. I believe they were all die cast because I'm pretty sure they weren't using pewter. I mean, that was good old days when they used to have some pewter stuff. Who cares? A little poisoning ain't going to bother nobody.
A little lead poisoning. It's like why is Tommy drooling on himself and having a seizure?
He's a real man. That's right, Walton. Assert your dominance. And Ashley can watch while you do all those funny things to that tree. Right, days. Oh, I can't help it. It's not my fault. But if there was going to be any other toy lines, and this goes for anybody in the chat too, is if there's any other toy lines that you would like to see them redo, retro style, and done right, what line would it be?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And yes, they did, CJH. I've got damn near every single one of them. Actually, no. With the stuff I picked up in my dad's house, I now have all of them.
Yeah, didn't you do a giveaway with those?
Yes, I did. Yeah, because I still got tons of them. I picked up so many extras at my dad's house. They're all over the place.
Wow.
What's up, Luffy? How you doing, buddy?
What up?
Yeah, tough question, ain't it?
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd really have to think about that. because Brent, I've been in work mode since we've been on here. Anyway, that's what That's why you're hosting instead of doing the back and forth right now. It's yeah. I would have to stop and think about a franchise or a brand that I was a huge fan of. Like, yeah, let's see a re-release with new articulation. I'd say the real Ghostbusters, if they do, because I know they re-released the old ones, but if they did those with brand new articulation, I think that those would be pretty cool.
Okay.
More like a slight realism to it, because you can kind of have that fine line, right? It's like the Marvel Legends, where it's they're not exactly fully comic book, they're not that realistic, they're somewhere in the middle. I think that would be actually pretty cool, just that extra detail.
No, the one I would choose, and I heard that they kind of almost did it, but I haven't really seen it. I would like to see either the original Micro Men get re-released, like retro style, or GoBots.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they. Yeah. Oh shit.
There's a problem. There's a problem with re-releasing GoBots though, as GoBots. Even though Bandai holds all the rights for the figures,
yeah,
Hasbro holds all the rights to the GoBots franchise and names.
Oh shit. You don't think it'd be possible that they cut a deal at some point and just go for it?
I think it's possible. I think it's also possible that maybe if Bandai ever decide to go in that direction, maybe they go to Hasbro and buy the trademarks off them, completely cut Tonka out, and then they just own it all themselves and do it. Of course, that would kind of suck for them, because then how are they going to market it in the States? Because Bandai has never been one to really market overseas. So maybe, right. Maybe they work a deal with Hasbro where they can use the name in Japan, or they could just use it as Machine Men like they always used to do. And maybe they have Hasbro market for them in the States. Mm-hmm. I think there's definitely a way to do it. I'd like to see it done, and I would love to see Micro Men brought back. I used to love Micro Men. I only found a few of them over the house, and it looked like the few that I found were kind of busted up a little bit.
Were those the ones that it was also like a gun that opens up into like a play set?
Well, the Micro Men actually had a lot of weird things. Like they had motorcycles that turned into maybe jet packs or helicopter backpacks. They had stuff like that with their early series. They did have some play sets that changed shape, but they didn't have many of them. Most of it was it was play sets that had elevators and stuff like that. Yeah. Micro Men also had the ability, like some of them had the magnetic arms, so you could just pop the arms and legs off and stuff like that.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, that's really where Transformers are born, starts with Micro Men. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the reasons I would like to see him back.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, Ashley Lynn Guy Storm has Beanie Babies and McDonald toy collections from 1980s. Nice. Well, this is one of these things I'm going to do one of these times on going old school. I am planning on having, once I get enough people, like good people to come on and talk about stuff, I want to have a ladies' night on going old school. Have them come up and talk about the toys they liked.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I bet a lot of them would love that Star Wars toothbrush. Just saying.
Yeah, it vibrates. I got to put batteries in it. The problem is I don't have any C batteries, because what the hell do you use C batteries for now anymore?
Yeah. Shit.
I know a little bit about them. I don't know a whole lot about them, Ashley. I've actually got about 2 or 3 totes worth of Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies and Meanie Babies that my mom collected.
Damn.
Steve said, I wish I still had my micro machines. Yeah, I have a few. Some of them are worth money, cool. Some of them aren't.
Yeah. Yeah, as a kid, I was collecting all kinds of shit back then too, like a lot of Hot Wheels and stuff like that. But yeah, those are awesome. Those are great. The micro machines.
Yeah, like I said, I have a few of them, and I have a few of the I have the Millennium Falcon playset. They came with the little minifigures.
Oh, dude,
nice. That thing's huge too. It's over like 1.5 feet long or something. It's pretty damn big.
Damn.
Lasso of Truth, the toys I collected when I was younger, I wouldn't be interested in anymore. Strawberry Shortcake and My Little Pony. And both of them have had reboots, and both of them have had retro style toys come out. Matter of fact, I want to say it was only about 5 years ago. Max Strawberry Shortcake had a retro toys out in Target.
Oh wow!
I'm Not Creative loves his Micro Machines and CJs. Lego isn't allowed to sell Star Wars minifigures separately because of Hasbro.
Huh. Well, that would explain why they're so expensive as well, because of the licensing. They all want their taste.
The McDonald's Beanie Babies made great dog toys. Yeah, in the Mad collection that my mother had of Beanie Babies, she did have some of the McDonald's ones too, still sealed on the little blister card backs that they came in from toy, from the restaurant.
Wow. But yeah, I remember a lot of those things, man. Those they actually, at a point, they were doing a lot of good figures that came through McDonald's.
Oh, well, I mean, like they were mentioning earlier with the McDonald's McChangeable figures that they made, getting on the changeable toy craze. I mean, I did a video early on my channel about it. They, even though they weren't like overly, like I want to say, complicated, these things were extremely simple. Like they made GoBots look complicated. They were so simple, but they were still sturdy.
Yeah.
They were interesting because of what they did, because they transformed from a McDonald's food product into a robot of some sort. That was extremely interesting. That was a lot of, like imagination that they used back then when they were putting these toy lines out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Maybe that's where Bill Gates came up with that idea, right? We're gonna start injecting people, and
you're wrong, Grandpa. You're wrong.
You're wrong. Yeah, him and Fauci, like they came up with this grandmaster plan. We're gonna start putting nanotech into people and into food. So where'd you get that idea? From McDonald's, when they had the transforming food that turned into robots.
Yeah. They had Bionicles, Legos at one point. Yeah, Burger King. Burger King was always really good, I think, with the glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I know McDonald's made some decent glasses too, but there was something a little bit more sturdy about some of the Burger King ones.
Yeah. It's cool, man. Roy Rogers never did anything like that, though. But their food tasted so good.
That's something I could definitely look into, Luffy. Top 10 playsets, 70s, 80s, and 90s.
You know it's true.
But oh my god, I think we can probably go on more about this, but I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit worn out. I have had like a really crazy past couple of days.
Oh, same here, man. Same here. A lot of late nights, getting a lot of things done. I've been making room as well because I need to make some more room. Once this book is done, I'm going to have a lot of boxes in here again. So, yeah, like I've been signing my other stuff, like, because I still have a good number of City of Venus and the art books and stuff. So I've been signing them, bagging, and boarding the rest of what I've got. I got 2 more boxes I got to go through so I can get rid of the cardboard boxes.
You're just doing all that yourself, too.
Yeah. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. And yeah, don't forget, everybody, you can get my books, City of Venus, those art books, Through the Woods, still all available. And yeah, Shadow of the Kraken's going to be coming in a couple months.
Absolutely. The links for some of those are in the title description. If I missed any of them, you can go on one of the other campaigns and you can get to what I missed. I think I might have missed City of Venus on there. I'm pretty sure I put Through the Woods and Shadow of Kraken. I don't remember if I put City of Venus or not on there.
Well, either way, when they're on those campaigns, there are links to the previous campaigns as well. So just take a look. It's all good. And don't forget to take a look over on my channel as well. Like I said, I'm still putting out toy reviews as well. Did a couple McFarlane ones recently, and I think the next 2 are going to be G.I. Joe. So what comes after G.I. Joe? Transformers. I
know. So I really got it. I got to get off my ass and start doing more of mine. I got them just backed up in the room.
Yeah, like do a couple in one shot if you could, and then it's I think a little bit easier that way. I still
Really?
gotta do the voiceovers, but
fucking YouTube,
shit.
knock it the fuck off.
Stop
This is
it.
coming from a pig. Always deleting comments, bastards. But we're gonna end it here, folks. I know Drew's going to be coming up in roughly about a half hour, so make sure to stop by and see Drew for Pegasus actual podcast, where he's talking about the newer Battlestar Galactica and everything that they love about it. And then you'll be able to catch us here again next week. Maybe a slightly later start. We're going to discuss that. And as we move along with this, eventually we're going to have a lot more things that I'm only going to be discussing here. And then there's going to be unique stuff that I'm going to be discussing on Monday. So we're going to have different topics. They're going to be separated. So this way we don't feel like we're talking about the exact same thing twice a week.
Right.
So a lot of you guys that follow over from going old school, I don't want you to feel like you're going to come to the show and it's going to be the exact same thing. It's going to be slightly different. We're going to have different topics. So
yeah, which will be good.
And make sure to check out Vinnie's books. Make sure to check out Red Gaze and Nerium too. Nerium is going to be closing out this coming weekend. So if you haven't got on bonds, you better hurry up. Time is running short.
That's right.
And of course, make sure to check out our good buddy Chris Fisk and Infinitales. Another good-looking project. And if you haven't backed Shadow of the Kraken yet, what are you waiting for? Look at this pig. Look how sad he is on this screen, people. Get out there and back it.
Oh, we could give him a little bit more of an enticing thing. I'm inking up a piece right now. I'll show you real quick.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we got some good stuff coming. That's for sure. I can't show too much more from the rest of the page and everything, but yeah, because we're gonna get spoilers. We don't want spoilers. We just want to have a good time because I'm at the end of the book, so I can't. I got to be very choosy and picky with what I could show and what I can't show. But yeah, I'm doing a time lapse, so yeah, this should be up in. Well, I don't know when, but it'll be up.
Oh, he's just putting enough out there to wet your whistle, and the rest is going to be up to you to dive in once that pirate ship sails up to your door.
That's right, man. That's right. Right now, I'm kind of running on fumes. I'm so tired, but
that's
I gotta
all right.
put
We all get there.
Yeah, all that energy is going into these pages and all that stuff. I might go to bed early tonight. I think I earned it. This week has been a
You ever try to take your man home?
I couldn't help it because it sounded like you've been violated.
Whoa.
Not by Walton, but you know.
Okay. Walton, stay where you are.
Yeah, bad thoughts. But thank you everybody that's come out tonight, and you guys are always amazing. You make this so much fun. Keck 44, author Stephen Walton, what's going on, buddy? Thank you for coming out, and of course Ashley as well. I'm Not Creative 22, Captain Trek, Lasso of Truth, CJH, Luffy is God, Red Gaze, our boy. Make sure you check out Sunsworn, Wings of Vengeance, in demand right now, and make sure you check out Nerium as well. Random Brad Creator, Chaos Hoy, Curtis YZ. Buddy, I can't wait till you get back to doing things that you want to do. I hope you get that new laptop soon. And everybody else that has come by tonight, thank you so much for coming out. Remember, we are going to be doing this every single week. Maybe the time might shift by a few minutes or so, just so we can give a little bit more time to our buddy Red Gaze, and we won't have maybe so big of a gap in between our show and Drew's. This way we kind of all run in tandem, probably within like 15 to 20 minutes of each other. That would be really nice. Rogue Entertainment trying to pretty much just take over Thursday nights if we can.
Yep.
But thank you for
rogues in here.
There be rogues in here, man. Right down by the beach, boy. That's where you can find Shadow of Kraken.
Do it up.
But We will catch you all next time. We're going to take you out right now until I get off my ass and finish doing my outros. We're going to take you out the same way we brought you in. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Peace.